Hello there, I'm Brandy from brandystamps.com, and I have been on a bit of a summer hiatus from my videos, so I'm so excited to see you back here today for another fun crafty video. This one is actually an episode of the Great American Stampin Show. That's right, we are back with season 3. We are starting out today, July 25th, with episode number 1, and we are going to be going through December with 22 episodes coming to you every single Thursday night at 5 p.m. Mountain Time from now through December. That is so exciting, you guys. I can't wait to get together and stamp every single week. And hopefully you know the Great American Stampin Show is a competition. And so for this episode, I would love for you to watch my video and the video of all 3 of my competitors. Their links are in my description. Choose which one you love the most and click like on that one. And that will determine our winner for the week. The voting goes through Sunday, so you have until then, and then we will announce our winner. If you are not yet in my Facebook group, it's called Brandy Stamps with Friends. That's usually where I announce the winner each week, or in one of the other competitors' Facebook groups. You could see it there too. So for season 3, we are going to be featuring layouts. So we've got our Stampin' Up! Catalog, and in the catalog on page 22, there are 22 different layouts across the bottom of the book. I've got them numbered right here so you can see them. We're going to start this week with layout number 1 and proceed through 22 weeks of crafty fun. You guys ready for this? Let's go. I've got my catalog open here to page 22, and this is hilarious. It's like a tiny thing in the catalog, but this is one of my favorite parts of our new catalog this year. Bottom of page 22 are 22 awesome layout ideas. For me, this helps me so much to get me started on creativity. So for this one, week number 1, I actually took a photo of it and blew it up so we could see it a little more clearly. Here's how our layout looks. I was able to start thinking of a lot of fun creativity ideas right away. So here's kind of what I saw when I looked at this layout. I'm thinking, you know, you've got your card base. So, you know, something like this. You've got a layer here that's tilted, and then you've got a layer here that's tilted back the other way, and then something goes across here, perhaps with like a little bow on it. So I'll put that here to represent this. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here when I look at this layout. Now, the whole point of this is just to get your creativity started. So you can do whatever you want with this, whatever kind of catches your interest and makes you feel creative and gets you going on a fun creation is all okay. Everything goes. It's allowed. You can turn it to the side. You can add more layers. You can turn things more or less. One of the first things I did on my card was straighten everything. I don't know, I a lot of times like layers that are more lined up and straight. So call me crazy, that's just me. I'm not saying I never tilt anything, but usually I like things straighter. So that was one of the first things I did is make these layers a little more straight. As I looked at this, I felt like this called for kind of a bigger image. I wanted this part to be my image. So I was looking through my stamp sets for something that had a larger image that could go here. And I have a funny story because when our new catalog came out, one of the first bundles I noticed had like this big hamburger on it. And so I was joking around all the time with my demonstrator friends going, oh, well, you could always stamp a giant hamburger on there, like kind of teasing about it as a new catalog item. But then lo and behold, one night I was placing an order and had to hurry and finish everything up, and I had a free half price item. And I was like, oh, what bundle should I get? And my catalog wasn't right there. I only had a couple minutes left. I just thought Bistro burger, and I ordered that one as my half price. So then I had this in my hands. Here's the Bistro burger stamp set and dies. And now, of course, I have to use it because now I own it. So my joke is on me. I guess I like the Bistro burger stamp set. So you've got kind of a burger, fries, pickle, a few cool greetings. The die set is especially cute. You've got a fun knife with the like wood handle piece. You've got like a nice cutting board, fire here for your grilling, some pieces to create some pennants. There's even a really cool chili pepper. So a lot of really great pieces, not to mention just the ones that'll cut out your fries, your burger, or the pickle. I didn't actually use the dies for this project, but I wanted to make sure you guys got to see them. I've used Memento Tuxedo Black ink to stamp this. This is the burger image. Here's one of my greetings up at the top. And of course I knew I wanted to color this, so I played with a few different ways to color it. I actually landed with the watercolor pencils. So here is a little selection of the pencils, and this actually includes some from the combination number 1 and some from combo number 2. That's not what they're called. There's like 2 different sets of watercolor pencils that you can get, and I have some from each set. And then, like I like to do, I've colored a little sample of color across here of each different pencil to kind of help me as I go along to color. So let's just start here with the bun. I'm using crushed curry, and I'm coming here along the edge of the bun. I know I want the darkest part to be the very edge of the bun. And then this is great because the stamp set shows some details here just with the drawing. I've got these little black lines to kind of show me where it might be darker. So I've gone through here and colored everything that I want a little bit darker, like I've pressed a little harder with this watercolor pencil. And I'm just using them dry. Anything I want darker, I'm pressing harder. And then I'll just kind of tilt the pencil more and color a lot lighter to give it a little layer of color in between that's lighter. And at this point I can come in with some other colors as well, like maybe I'll grab even a brighter yellow and put a little of that in here. Maybe I'll go in with more of a brown and add some little highlights, like the darkest parts. And I usually wait until I'm pretty much done laying down color and I've got it almost how I want it to bring in my blender pen. These are basically just a water marker that has no color in it, but it's wet. And I'm going to go over this to blend the color. This is why they're called watercolor pencils, because the color will move around with that little bit of water. And each area I'm pretty much just gonna go over it once. I don't wanna go back and forth over it because I have just used regular basic white cardstock and it will start to ball up if I go back and forth over it with water. In between colors, I can just color on my scratch paper, make sure I've got no color on the tip of this. It'll be ready to go to blend my next color. So now I've grabbed my pecan pie and colored in my burger. I liked this shade because it's brown, but it's got that reddish color, so we don't lose the kind of shade of the meat. And again, I've colored the darkest part around the edge and filled in the center with some color too. And I'll just come through here with my blender pen to kind of give it a watercolor look. It smooths out any pencil lines that you have, and so it allows you to color kind of messily and then fix it after by coming through with your pen. You don't want to blend too much though, because you'll lose that definition of some of the layers of color that you've put in, and you can come back in and add some more highlights after. So I like these really darker edges here. Next up, I'm going to do the pickles. They're right at the edge of the bun up here. I've got my garden green and I'm going to give them a really dark rind, little bit lighter color in the centers, and a little bit of blending. Okay, next up is the tomatoes. I'm actually using Calypso Coral, which is a little more pinky, just for the fleshier parts of the tomato. And we'll jump over here to more of a real red, these nice dark edges. This is a very detailed stamp, so the image does a lot of the work for you. You don't need to get crazy with the coloring because the details are already built in there with the image, so I love that. I like to be a little creative, but I don't want to go crazy spending a half hour coloring a hamburger. Okay, next up we've got some really nice lettuce. So I've pulled out the Granny Apple Green to do that. And I'm going to go through and just kind of messily color and leave a layer all over the lettuce. Okay, going back with my darker green to give it just some nice highlight at the edges. Pull in my water, which will very nicely blend those two colors together that I had used. Last is the cheese. I'm going to lightly come in with my pumpkin pie. It's a very bright orange. Lay down a little color on these melty cheese edges. Come back in as well with my bright Daffodil Delight to mix with it and lighten it up. Get a nice cheesy color. At this point, you can go back over your project, see if there's any part that you want to add more color to. Back to our layout, this piece can go right on top of this black one to give it a nice little frame. And then this little strip, I wanted to stamp the words "Time to Celebrate" from the stamp set right on there. Kind of fun because the set has lots of different greetings, all a little bit geared maybe toward the guys. This says guy, Father's Day. I guess dudes are the ones who like a big old juicy hamburger, but I don't know. Where are my girls at? Who loves to eat a good hamburger? I was thinking of this card for my nephew, Ian Connor. He is having his birthday in just a few days from now. So I don't know if he's a hamburger fan, but most of the boys I know are. My boys are huge fans. So I'm going to take a risk and send him a hamburger card. Now the template showed like a little V cut into the edge. So this is an example of me being creative, doing whatever I want with the template because it's my template, but I'm just cutting like a little slant. And I'm using the piece that I cut off from the other side to help me line up this side. That way they can be just the same slantiness, and I like that. Okay, so my layers are coming together. One thing I want to add to this red layer is a little half circle punch. So this is my 2-inch punch that's just available from the Stampin' Up online store. I'm going to kind of come in, not all the way to the center, but just kind of part way in. I'm trying to make sure I'm centered-ish from top to bottom there. I'm just gonna cut myself a little sort of a half circle there. Now let's go ahead and assemble this card. So this layer I'm going to put on with glue dots. And I want a few along the top and bottom edge. This is from the pack of Regals designer paper. So it's got fun designs on both sides and just each of the Regals colors. I believe this one is Cherry Cobbler. Okay, so I've gone around these three sides. I left this side open. When I stick this down, I'll pull it together here just a little so the pocket isn't too hard to get into. Do you see my pressure here this way with my fingers? So this pocket is like naturally lifting a little because of the way I put the glue dots on. Now let's use some more mini glue dots to attach this layer. Centered top to bottom. I'm going to position this pretty close to the edge of my stripes, but not all the way to them. So I can still see the striped edge over here. And then this little guy, I want it to extend right over onto the pink part of the card. Getting a little bit creative with how the adhesive is here. 2 of the mini dimensionals, 2 of the mini glue dots, and that's going to make this card sit nice and flat. About like that. Trim these little guys so they're not too crazy. And then we need our finishing touch, of course, a little gift card for my nephew's birthday. Goes to a burger joint, perfect for this card, and we'll slide it right in here. So let's look and see how we did. Here is the original template, and here's how our card turned out. So we straightened all the pieces. We did just a slant instead of a banner end on there, and we've got a very similar layout here. This inspired me so well to create a really fun birthday card for someone who I love. I hope you guys love it. Well, that was a super fun time making a Bistro burger card with my first episode of season 3 of the Great American Stampin Show. If you like my card the best, please give it the thumbs up. And if you like In-N-Out Burger, drop a comment. Or if you haven't been there, I'd love to find out who has been to this place. This is a yummy burger joint right around me, but I think it might just be in the West. I don't know for sure. I'm no burger connoisseur. They have actually really thin patties, so I don't know, misrepresentation maybe, but I loved how this gift card had the little arrow. Doesn't it just say, hey Ian Connor, pull this out of the pocket and here's your gift. Hope you guys had fun watching today. Be sure and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos at all. Vote by Sunday and come back here next Thursday for the next episode of the Great American Stampin' Show. Have a great day.